The following story may not be appropriate for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to Whisperwood Stories. Today we read, you might be surprised, from Nosleep, a story by user Leading Charge. Let's begin. I found teeth in my brother's freezer. I haven't spoken to my brother in over 6 years. No fights, no drama, just silence. One day he stopped replying, stopped calling, stopped existing in my life. Our parents passed within moments of each other, and even then, he never showed up. So when I got a voicemail from his landlord saying they hadn't seen him in weeks, I should have just deleted it. But I didn't. I found a spare key, taped behind the rusting electric meter, just like he always joked about when we were kids. If I ever disappear, check behind the meter. I wish I hadn't remembered that. The house smelled like mold and metal, stale, dead air. Every light I flicked on buzzed before going dim again. Nothing looked disturbed. No signs of a break-in. No shattered glass. No chaos. Just stillness. That was somehow worse. The fridge was empty. So was the sink. The only thing running was a box fan in the living room, pointed toward an armchair that faced nothing. Just the wall. A damp towel was thrown over the seat. I didn't touch it. I walked into his bedroom. It was too clean. Dust lined everything, but the bed was made. The clothes were folded, and the closet was empty. Except for the freezer. It wasn't in the kitchen. It was in the back room. A standalone chest-style deep freezer, padlocked shut. That alone should have been enough to turn around and leave. But I didn't. I found the bolt cutters in the garage. The lock snapped like it had been rusting for years. I had to grip the lid hard. There was frost sealing it shut. And when I opened it, the first thing I saw was a Ziploc bag full of human teeth. Loose. Some bloody. Some cracked at the root like they'd been yanked hard and fast. Underneath that, jars. Mason jars filled with meat. They weren't labeled, but one had a fingernail floating at the top. The color of the flesh was wrong. Gray-pink, mottled. The smell. Jesus, the smell hit me like boiling bleach and rotting copper. There were bones. Small ones, finger bones. A wrist, maybe? My vision started tunneling. I don't remember standing up, but I was suddenly in the hallway, holding a jar, the lid slick with something oily. I threw it through the bathroom mirror. That's when I saw the photos. Taped to the underside of the mirror were Polaroids. My brother, shirtless, smeared with something dark, kneeling beside bodies. Bodies missing chunks, pieces. Some were missing faces. One of them was posed like it was praying. In all of them, he was smiling. He looked so proud. I tried calling the cops. No service. I bolted, left everything behind. I made it home 2 hours later, shaking so bad I couldn't hold my keys. I called the police the next morning, but when they went to the house, it was empty. No teeth, no jars, no Polaroids. Not even the freezer. Like it never existed. They tracked the landlord, who swore he never called me, said no one had rented the house in years. He thought it had been condemned. But I have the voicemail. And a tooth. I don't know what to do with it. I kept it in a plastic bag under my bed. It's not the same as the others. It's cracked and discolored, with a silver filling in the bag. I know it's my brother's, because when we were kids, he knocked that exact tooth out on a bike ramp, and Mom spent $2,000 getting it fixed. I remember watching the blood pour from his mouth like he liked it. I haven't told anyone about the tooth. I wanted to believe I was wrong. Maybe it wasn't his. Maybe the photos were fake. Maybe the jars were props. Maybe I hallucinated the whole thing. Until the meat showed up on my porch, wrapped in butcher paper. No return address, no name, just a greasy hand-scrawled note. You forgot dinner. I didn't even open it. I threw the whole thing into a public dumpster 6 blocks away. But that night, I heard something chewing outside my bedroom window. It wasn't a raccoon. It was slow, wet, like something gnawing bone. I waited until sunrise to look. Just a smear of blood on the windowsill. Human teeth marks in the wood. Then the smell came back. That same metal sweet stink from the freezer. It had clung to my skin, my sheets, even the inside of my mouth. I started gagging in the shower. Blood clots came up in my spit. I couldn't eat for 2 days without puking. And then I started dreaming. Dreams of the freezer lid slamming shut on me. Of being trapped in the dark, frozen with things that still whispered. Things that moved. Dreams of my brother standing over me with bolt cutters, smiling like he did in the Polaroids. I've been saving the good parts, he says. You always were the favorite. One night, I woke up with my mouth full of something soft and gritty. It was a tongue, not mine. I screamed so loud the neighbors called 911. Cops showed up, took one look at my blood-soaked mouth and bathroom sink full of vomit, and decided I was having a breakdown. No tongue was ever found, but they put me on a list, sent a social worker. She came by 2 days later, cheery and chirpy, offering help, so I let her in. I don't know how to explain what I saw next. Her clipboard had teeth embedded in it. Red ones, still bloody, pressed into the leather like something had bitten it over and over. She didn't mention it. She just smiled. Too wide, too long. Her skin was stretching to keep up. Your brother says hi, she whispered as she walked out the door. I haven't slept since. The freezer's outside my building now. Same dent on the lid, same rust pattern. But this time, the lock's on the inside, and I can hear knocking from within. I started boarding up my door yesterday. I don't leave my apartment. My phone buzzes with unknown numbers every night at 3:17 a.m. I don't answer anymore. The voicemails are just chewing sounds. Slurping. Gulping. Last night, I looked in the mirror and saw something lodged in the back of my throat. I reached in with tweezers and pulled out a piece of paper soaked in bile. It read, "You'll taste just like Mom." Tonight I finally opened the bag under my bed, the one with his tooth. I don't remember taking it out, but when I came to, it was in my mouth, wedged in perfectly. No blood, no pain, like it had always belonged there. I ran to the bathroom mirror, heart jackhammering in my chest. My hands were shaking so hard I nearly dropped the flashlight when the power cut out. The face staring back at me wasn't mine. It was his. Not a hallucination, not a reflection. His eyes, his mouth, his goddamn smile. I screamed and tore the tooth out with pliers. Blood poured from my gums, dripped onto the sink, pooled around the base. I heard the knocking again, from inside the mirror this time. Then his voice, soft and close, like he was breathing down my neck. "Took you long enough." That's when I understood. The teeth, the jars, the tongue, the smell. He wasn't preserving bodies. He was preserving himself, piece by piece, in others, in me. The freezer wasn't to hide the dead. It was a delivery system. I was never meant to find him. I was meant to become him. Thank you for listening to Whisperwood Stories. If you enjoyed, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe down below. Do you have a story that you'd like me to read here? Consider commenting or sending it to whisperwoodsubmissions@gmail.com. The story in this video was read with the author's permission. Thank you again for listening, and be sure to check out the original Reddit post. Want to support me? Check the link below. You can leave a tip if you wish. And remember, don't let the shadows get too close. Good night.